everybody. If I go right here, here's my class. I can click on here, and here's my roster. Click on it, Matt. Oh, you clicked on the wrong thing, I think. Back. Hopefully. I think this first one right here is roster. Yep. So it's telling me if you're licensed or not licensed. We got an issue with people that have the courtesy access. Does that come from Amazon?
No, it came straight from McGraw-Hill or Connect or whatever it is.
Really?
Yeah.
We could give you like a free 2-week trial, and then afterwards you have to pay.
What did you buy? You told me already?
You bought the wrong one first.
No, I bought it.
That. Okay. You bought the book. Where'd you buy it? Amazon. You did buy it from Amazon. They won't let you return it?
I haven't tried yet.
Can you try? Because we really need everybody to have full licenses so you could take the quizzes and have access to the case studies past January 28th. Now, if you wanted, and you have only till January 28th, you could take all the tests before January 28th, but I haven't even made some of them yet. And we're going to have case studies. If it's an issue, email me. But then again, I got 36 students, and I only got 24 students listed on here. I think we got 36 students, so, or 35, 36. We have 36. One more person joined. So it's telling me 12 people haven't done anything yet. So hopefully they'll go right to McGraw-Hill Connect using either the 13-digit ISBN number I put in the syllabus or the link I put down in an email that I sent. All right?
But yeah, I get into Connect. I get into Connect fine.
Yeah, but you're going to not get into Connect. And, okay? Let's go back, Matt. So if I click on the title of the course, okay, I've set up 6 quizzes. 2 of them are due next week. Those assignments, well, your second assignment, you're supposed to have a team contract in by now. 2 of those are due next week. I set it up. It's a bank of questions, so nobody's going to get the same test, and they don't come in order either as you read the book. And there's only 20 questions in each of them, and I set it up for 5 points a test per question, 100 points, and somehow it keeps going back to 10 points. So it's worth 200 points, but I'll divide it by 2 if you don't like. Okay? So that's that. Let's go back, Matt. Oh, no, let's go to library.
Where's that?
Up top, red and green. All right, if I go to the library, I can go to the e-book right here. Right, you can just click on the book. Yep. I love Matt being in here for me. So this is how the e-book works. You can actually do a self-study if you want on each chapter, right? It also does something unique. I don't think you guys need it. You're in an MBA program, how it teaches you how to read and all that. But if you go down to the bottom, there is a read-only. Okay? And, well, no, I guess not. I guess that doesn't do that. I'm sorry. But you can go further down and go to the cases, and that's where the cases are. Okay? So that's where the cases
A
are.
couple questions, Sam.
Yep.
Are the quizzes timed?
The quizzes, I think I set them up for like 2 hours.
And how many attempts per quiz do you get?
1. Okay? So that's that. If you have an issue with the textbook, please let me know. Again, it's $125 through McGraw-Hill Connect. I think it's $173 through the bookstore. I found they finally, last week, they corrected everything. Okay? So it helps if you got a license. That's that. All right? The big thing we have to do today is pick our country. All right? So let's go to the syllabus, Matt. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint today on Chapter 2, but in the future when we do the chapters and you're doing quizzes, we're not going to do the PowerPoint. I'm going to bring in other stuff that I think supports the book, and supports your project, and supports what we're trying to accomplish in this class. All right? Matt did something for me today on another course that took him 6 minutes and 12 seconds. And it probably would have taken me 2.5 hours to do.
Where are we going? Syllabus?
Syllabus. Is it in the briefcase or is it in the first? It's in the first thing, Matt. I think it's up top in the, oh, you're already ahead of me. All right. So I want to go through the big assignment again. Remember, we're going to have 2 team assignments, second one being the country manager simulation. Don't even worry about it. Don't buy anything yet. It's going to be $39.95 if you buy it direct from the company, $73.95, I think, if you buy it from the bookstore. Excuse me. All right.
Pretty markup.
I know. Ain't that good. So we're doing a regional marketing analysis, all right? And basically we're doing 4 videos. And each video should be about 7.5 minutes long. You're going to give me, each team's going to give me a YouTube link where you put all your videos on. All right? We're looking at regions. And we have, how many regions there, Matt? A little farther down. We have 10 regions, all right? Each team is going to get one of these regions. And I brought a deck of cards to pick who gets to pick first, okay? So shall we do that? Let's get an order first. Sure. And before I'm done with today's class, by when I get home, I may have an 8th group. We may do an 8th group. I may do a group of people that aren't participating in the team meetings, all right? So the best way I think we can do this is, I got 7 cards numbered 1 through 7. So we got 7 teams. You know, I'm like king today. I'm the king of this class. I can do whatever I want. It's a monarchy or whatever. So I'm going to flip this first card. Do you want to anybody want to shuffle a little bit? You trust me?
I don't know. I don't trust you much anymore.
So this card is for team 1 when they get to pick. Okay, do I have a pen? Yep. So team 1 goes 6. All right? Sorry, team 1. The next card is for team 2. They go 2nd. And brought a red pen. Team 3 is 3rd. This isn't working out, right? Who's going to go first? Team 4 gets the first. Anybody in here? Team 4? Yes. You get to pick the first, okay? Team 5 gets 5th. You're almost in order here. Team 6 gets 7th. And this better be a 4. Team 7 goes 4th. Okay, I can't think of a better way to do it. And you could trade teams that you can create. If you get a team, if you pick one and somebody else picks one and you decide you want to trade, you can trade. Just let me know. All right? So, can we go up to the grading? Because I think there's something wrong in that. Okay. There are 3 things, okay? Remember you're doing the case studies too. You got an individual case study where you tell me what the case is about, right? Before the case is assigned. Then you got responses to the case study questions that can be a team assignment. If you're at the live class, you submit one for the team, for all people that participate in the Google Hangout. If you're not in the live class, and I get a list of it every class, you have to submit your own responses, okay? So that's that. Now back to the marketing analysis. Why I brought this up about peer evaluations. You're going to evaluate your team. I don't think you want to evaluate your teammates on the case study if they're not participating in the group hangout. You're rating them what they're doing in regards to this project. Are they doing their own work? All right? So can we go back on Matt?
Where are we?
Back up to the. So again, the executive summary is 10%. The videos are going to equal up to 20%. And then 10% is the average score we'll have a teammate evaluation. Okay? So 10% of your grade is going to be based on how you did with your team. And in fact, it's 25% of the project grade. All right? So I'm trying to encourage everybody to work equal. Let's go back down. So the executive summary, again, here's your requirements. Summaries longer than 3 pages will be graded down, so try to keep it under 3 pages. And then finally, then a reference page of websites or other sources used to obtain the information for your videos. Graphs and figures can be used as appendices, but you don't have to, if you put them in your videos, I'd rather them be in your videos, graphs and appendices. And the video presentations, again, 1.5 minutes. All right? Let's page down. So again, we have 4 videos, and this is defining what goes on each of those videos. Narrated videos, they can be a PowerPoint, but narrated. Again, so the first one, we're getting general overview. We'll talk about trade statistics, top exports, top imports for the countries, nature of the infrastructure. Do they have internet? Do they have roads? Do they have rails? Do they have transportation? Blah, blah, blah. All right? Video 2, we got a chapter on the text about the economic environment. All right, so we're going to talk about per capita income and that type of stuff. We're going to talk about the financial environment, which is sort of exchange rates. And not only exchange rates, but how, you know, when you do exchange rates, do it for a period of time, not just 1 year. Do they fluctuate a lot? You know, here's a 10-year graph for each of these 3 countries that we're looking at. Political and legal environment, and there's a chapter on that. Excuse me, I skipped one, didn't I? Video 3 is going to be the culture environment. It's about the culture itself, religion, what the people are like, all right, customs, that type of stuff, business practices. F is political legal environment. And then when we get to video 4, the first part is we're getting more specific. Now we're talking about U.S. businesses there, all right? What's the nature of businesses? And then we're looking at A through G on the last one to make an overall summary. Is this a good economic climate to do business in? All right? Let me, can you open my little thumb drive? Can you go back, see if it's got, can you go back again? Can you go back again? So, one more. Yeah, thank you. Do I have summer on there? Fall 7, let's see what's in fall 17. 641. I didn't teach it. Do I have summer? Nope. I'll tell you what I'll do for you guys. Wait, open up the global consumer down here. Is this the global consumer? No. Nope. All right. Next class, I'll bring it. I'll find some of the other videos, and I'll actually show you a couple of them. All right. Will that help? All right. Has anybody started reading chapters 1 and 2? I hope. Thank you. Chapter 2 is fairly general, not real hard stuff. Chapter 3 is when we get more specific into it. I would like to get in our teams now for about a half hour, and I got to get to every team, and let's do our selections, okay? So every team get together, talk about, go up, Matt, show them there the list is. All right? So we got 10 areas. They're all fun. So we got 4 in the European Union, blah, blah, blah. So let's break out into our Google Hangouts, of which there's 7. And I'm going to go in order. And Matt, are those all highlighted like that already, or did you just highlight them? I just did that. Okay. As a team picks one, can we put access through it or something?
Yep. Just let me know what they are.
All right. So how are we doing breaking out? Are we all standing here? Ready? Break. All the way to where I got some web links.
What kind of country didn't they pick?
Now let's go up to the top, Matt. Right there. Okay. Most of these should open if you click on them. So I'm going to show you, and they're not in any really particular order. They're just alphabetical. And this is interesting. This first site talks about country risk, all right? And it looks at different areas of risk. It could be political risk. It could be financial and economic risks. So there's 3 different things here that's aligned for you. And this group's, so there is one free thing on here.
There's an animal there.
I think it's from, what's that movie, The Dragon?
The gargoyle?
What's the dragon? Huh? No, the dragon. The girl has the 2 dragons. One of them was taken by the other people.
Lilo Stitch?
Huh? The dragon.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
All right. So this is on country risk, okay? And I know it has some free areas on it, so you want to look at, all right? And surprisingly, when we looked at something on country risk, they said one of the biggest risks in the world going into this year was that Donald Trump was president, because you didn't know, he's very inconsistent, you didn't know how he's going to handle things. And the U.S. has changed a lot when it comes to trade and some other things. All right? And that affects all the other countries too. Let's close that one. Oh, syllabus. Yep. All right, this is interesting. We'll probably talk about this one more. Anybody ever hear of Jeff Husted? Husted has something called the dimensions of culture, and he says you can measure in 6 dimensions. All right, you can type in the country, but let's go to the cultural compass. All right. Let's see, go farther down. Keep going, keep going. Can you go to our models up there, Matt? 60 model. All right. So we have 6 dimensions of natural culture, and I'll do a little bit of PowerPoint on this later. The first one is power distance, okay? And he says every country on a 0, you can say like a 0 to 1 scale on each, or 0 to 100 where they fit on this, or whatever we wanted to do. This power distance, this dimension expresses the degree which the less powerful members of society accept and expect that power is distributed unequally. All right? Peoples and societies exhibiting a large degree of power distance accept a hierarchical order in which everybody has a place and which needs no further justification. So that's power distance. Second one, easy enough. Individualism versus collectivism, East versus West. We're considered to be an individualist country where China, Japan are more collective countries working together. Masculinity versus femininity. The masculinity side of this dimension represents a preference in society for achievement, heroism, assertiveness, and material rewards. And then femininity, on the other, is just the opposite of that. Sorry to use masculinity and femininity. So that's another one. Uncertainty avoidance. All right? How do we deal with uncertainty and ambiguity? And that can be a country factor, can be an individual factor too. Do people avoid uncertainty and ambiguity? And that varies by country. Next one is long-term orientation versus short-term. All right? And that's basically, do we look towards the long-term or short-term? U.S., we lean towards short-term, right? And the last one is indulgence versus restraint. Well, I used to go home from school, my mom said you can have 2 cookies right now. But if you wait an hour, you can have 4 cookies. Well, I always took the 2 cookies. I had no restraint. Then I talked her into the other 2 cookies anyway. No. So, all right. Now we can do country comparison tools. See an orange map? And we can put a type of country in. I want to put China, okay? There's China on the scale, all right? Ooh, let's put another one in. France. Here's France on the scale. Very high on uncertainty avoidance. U.S. Okay? See how they differ? So that's Hofstede's dimensions of culture. Right? Let's close that one. We'll talk about that one another time. All right, Global Edge is really good. I didn't leave a space in that. Global Edge is really good. I just said that, didn't I? Did you know that Global Edge is really good? Really good? If we go to tools and data, all right, there's all these different things we can use. We can also go to the reference desk, all right, and we'll go to Global Insights. Let's just see, all right. Let's go by country. And we can put in any country we want. And you get information on the country. All right? Oh, geez. All right? And there's more you can do with this site too, so play around with the site. Let's, I don't know much about this one, but I put it on. All right. Country comparisons. Explore location. To the left map and left column, explore location. Let's go to Oceania. All right. Country profiles. They got Australia, they got New Zealand. All right, so there's a lot of profile information on this. All right, there's something about parliamentary democracy, and constitutional monarchy, type of economy, that type of stuff. Okay. Here's some other things. Computers, 52.6 per 100 inhabitants. Access to electricity, 100%. A little better than Puerto Rico right now. All right, let's close that one. All right, let's close that one. OECD, we got 2 of them here. I'm going to go. And OECD might have been mentioned in our, we can go to countries again. And we can pick any we want. You can click on it. Luxembourg.
That's the smallest country.
Yeah. All right, so there's some charts for you right there. You can copy and paste. Let's go back, Matt. There's also economic survey of Luxembourg. right? Ooh, all right.
Is that a video?
That is a PowerPoint, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll have to be checking those, I guess. You guys are better than them. All right, that one's good. Close it. I also have the other part. I think this is the, yeah, this is the Gini. This measures poverty, income, and that type. Did I mention the Gini coefficient last class? Yeah. I had a formula myself, an easy formula, on distribution of income per country. If you take the mean income, right, the mean, everybody, the average of every household or person, and divide it by the median, which is half are below and half above, all right? If you divide, the bigger number you come up with, the bigger the inequality of wealth. I mean of income. There's a difference between income and wealth, right? All right. So this has the Gini coefficients, and we could do it by country. Can we click on country here? Here a bit. So again, this is talking about Australia. Oh, okay, it's got mean, it's got some other stuff on it. Where's the Gini coefficient, though? Here's wealth distribution over here on the left, Matt. On the left. Yep. By country. And this is all about Australia. So this has got a lot of numbers. All right. Somewhere in there you can get the Gini coefficient for each country. It's very easy to find, but I didn't find it. I got to keep going. What do we got? How much more time we got? Half hour?
8:30 right now.
Okay. Cyber. Again, you're going to find a lot on. This provides resources business need to compete. This is from University of Indiana, and it's going to have some things on it. I don't want to go through them all. You're going to find some of them you're going to use more than others. This chapter 2 mentions the International Monetary Fund. This is their website. Again, you can go to countries. Right there on the top, Mike, Matt, and Gary. Go ahead. You've got freedom at a glance. All right. There's a lot more than that on it. All right. Country data. Let's click on country data. See what it does. Okay. There's just some stuff on that. Yep. Click out of this. I've never done this where I've gone through each of these in the class, but then the ones I inherited at first class, I found out half of them didn't open. Statistic and analysis. Here, this is the International Trade Administrator. All right, whole bunch of stuff on here.
Good.
Yep. OECD, or the Internationalists. I'm just making sure they all, look at this, business info by country. Who's behind Turkey's attack on the Kurds? We know that's going on? We're supporting the Kurds in Syria, right?
Yep.
And then Turkey's...
Is that Erosion?
Erosion, yeah. He's almost like a dictator, isn't he? Then we have the other thing going on with Turkey where wasn't there a fight?
Next is U.S. military presence in both areas.
Yeah. But there was a fight in Washington where
Or who they're going to support.
yeah. But no, there was actually a physical fight.
Oh.
This was like 6 or 8 months ago.
There's something to do with protesters against
Protesters.
policy.
But then their bodyguards started really...
Attack people at the Turkish embassy.
Yeah. All right, so there's a lot of stuff in this, the internationalists. OECD, you're going to hear about. These are all good sources of information. You really don't have to go to any other sources than these to do this. Right? That's good. I like the RGE, the Rubini. This is really good. All right. This has got some nice articles too. U.S. infrastructure. Are we gonna get a deal between the Republicans and?
Yeah, today.
No, I mean a deal within before, what is it, February 8th now? The next one?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
They say the big issue is going to be Ryan's going to have problems. The Republicans have in the House of Representatives, you're never going to pass them unless you have a majority of the majority, right? And they say anything that come up from the Senate, which will be more bipartisan, will not get a majority of the majority of the Republicans. And that's the Hastert rule. You have to have a majority of the majority. And he's got to deal with that one very ultra-right group. So it's either Ryan's going to go through a tough time, or President Trump's going to have to, he said he would take the heat, he's going to have to take the heat to enable those people to, so it's going to be interesting. But we're looking at completely changing who we are, right? An equal opportunity to come into the country might be gone. I don't know if that's right or wrong. We have a lottery system. We have disadvantages countries having the opportunity to come in on the lottery system. We have the family thing. What do they call that that's going on? They're trying to eliminate. So
DACA.
Huh?
DACA.
No, DACA's the ones that are already in here. The parents came illegally, but the young people, chain migration, they're calling it chain migration. So Australia had, I have a permanent visa to Australia. They have a system in place, but once you get your family members, they have different scales to use, so it is somewhat merit-based, and I think that's what Trump is promoting, for more of a merit-based system. But I think it's a problem because I think we also we need the lower ed people to come in, especially the farmers, the meat packaging industry, and it's interesting. But back to this.
Good.
Yeah. So there's a couple more too. The World Bank, Tradeport, do I have World Bank twice? Yep, I put it in alphabetical and then I've crossed it off. So we might as well open the World Bank. There's more. Can you page down? Here we go. By country, we can do it. Or by indicators, country. All right, we can again look at, we can do regions. Afghanistan, yeah, that's a good one. Let's go to Afghanistan. You'd have to see what some of these are. GDP's gone up. Look at how fast GDP has gone up for the. Okay, that's good. What else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? Let's go back to that, Matt. One more. Let's look at the U.S. Trade Census Bureau. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Isn't it nice when I put them all on there and they all open to the last damn one? No. Try just putting in U.S. Trade, USA Trade. Can somebody do me a favor that has Connect? Do you guys got, anybody got Connect? Huh? Can you see if the quiz 1 will open?
I don't know yet.
I was able to get you to begin now.
Begin now.
I didn't want to begin now.
Oh, you were able to get to begin now. All right. I'll send you an email out because somebody had problems getting into it. And I'll call them tomorrow and I'll send out an email and I'll ask them, I'll tell you how long you got in each test, I just forget. And I'll also tell you if you can open and close it, all right? If you can, or if you have to finish it all at once.
Nicole, do you have a question?
Oh, I did the first quiz, but I did it all at once, so I'm not sure if you can open it and close it.
Okay, how long did it take? How long did you debate it?
It took me maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. Pretty easy?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Did you get your score?
No, it didn't give me a score.
Oh.
It said the professor is not giving out scores at this time. So I don't know.
Well,
Maybe you have to release them? I don't know.
all right, I'll figure that out too. I'll try to get them released. What I got to do is convert those scores from a 200 scale to a 100 scale and put them into our grade book, right? Okay. Anybody else got a question?
Who's your favorite football team?
Yeah, the Browns.
Oh,
I rooted big time yesterday for Jacksonville. And then I sort of rooted for, I'm not a Case Keenum fan. I like Bradford and I like the other quarterback, so New England again. And you can't be a New England fan if you're a Browns fan because Belichick coached there. And you bench Bernie Kosar, who's like one of my favorite players of all time. All right, we can end up early. There is a PowerPoint on this chapter. Read the chapters 1 and 2. 2 quizzes next week. What else are we doing next week? That's it, because we're not going to start the case study until the following week. All right? So week of February 5th, you're going to have to do your case study summary for the first case study. And then we'll spend some of the class in here, some of the class working on your case studies, short answer questions. They shouldn't be difficult. And then some of the class working on your group project. All right? So a lot of this is split. Learn on your own from the textbook, and then I'll add things each class.
For the videos, are you giving us, like, is there a certain date or due, or?
Yes, they're due the last class, the night before the last class.
Oh, okay.
You're going to send me,
For everybody else.
you're going to send, but you'll leave it in your, where will you leave it, in the car?
I will bring it, I promise.
You're going to give me, each group's going to set up a YouTube link, and next week I will show you a video. All right? Teams had more problems keeping them under 7.5 minutes than using up 7.5 minutes. And some were better than others, but they were all pretty darn good. And Matt, you agree they were all good?
yeah.
I was so pleased the first semester I taught this class and I got those videos. They were very professionally done. It's nice if you have somebody that's good into video production.
Yeah, but you don't.
Think of what you'll learn.
The case studies, they're also on Connect, right?
Yeah, I showed them.
Yeah.
I showed them. You just got to click on the book, and then it gives you right at the bottom of all the chapters is the case study. Click on that, and it'll give you all the individual case studies. You got to let me know if you have problems with your group. Well, maybe not. You got your own team contract. I'll read the team contract, and maybe you guys will have to sort it out yourself.
Are the case study questions at the end of the case?
The case study questions are at the end of the cases.
Not again. I was going to get it the next day, and I on mine.